Hi, my name is Sam. I'm a photographer and a videographer, Salama Productions, and this is what I use for my video, photography, and live streaming work. This is what is in my camera bag. Let's take a look. My number one camera, or my A camera, it's a red digital cinema camera. So this is my A camera. It's a Komodo X, a great camera. I love it for many reasons. And I use the red 7-inch touchscreen monitor, which is a DSMC3 from Small HD. It's a red monitor. It's great, uses one cable for power and signal, so I no longer have to supply power to this monitor. So this is a great camera. My number two camera is a cinema camera, which is a Canon EOS C70. It is a good camera and it has advantage, some of them, over this one. For example, the ND filter, which is inbuilt, is great for this camera. It enables me to shoot outdoor, even in challenging lighting situations. I reach out to this one here. It also has very good preamps. It has XLR input for audio. It has physical buttons. So this is my B camera. My C cameras, because there are many, are the Canon EOS R5. I love them for many reasons. Number one, I use them for photography. Number two, they are hybrid because they can shoot some video. Actually, this shoots 8K. So they are pretty good cameras. When I'm doing running gun, I can shoot some videos while I'm doing photography. Now, for the action cam or the super wide cameras, I have the GoPro 11. So this one is a pretty nice one because it can do up to 5K 60. So it's a really good camera. When it comes to glass, but before I talk about glass, I have one more camera there that has retired. So this is a Canon AE1. It's a pretty old camera. I used it when we had this, but since then this one has retired. It's still on my camera archives. For the glass, I have RF glass and I have many lenses. Starting from my right here, so this is a 70 to 200 2.8, pretty good lens. Great, I love this and I use it quite often. The other telephoto lens is 100 to 500. It's a great lens. This is my 85 1.2, very nice for portrait and low light. I have a 24 to 70 2.8. I have a 14 to 35. This is super wide angle lens. I reach out to this mostly for real estate. I also have macro lens up there, 35, and I have a 24 to 105, among other lenses. So I shoot Canon and Red, and this is not the only tool I use. These are just tools, depending on the job at task. If the job requires me to grab an early Alexa, I get it. So this is what I use. This is what is usually mostly in my camera bag, with red digital cinema camera being my top priority, and my A camera, then the Canon C70 and the R5s. Moving on, for the drone, I use Mavic Pro alongside other bigger drones. So this one is for small projects, but for projects that need heavy cameras to be mounted on helicopters, I have all that stuff. That's what I use. And Mavic 2 Pro, I got a couple of ND filters, very important because always having challenging environment. Now for weddings, events, audio, it's extremely important. I have many solutions for audio: a bigger mixer, Behringer, and also these small recorders. When I don't have to use a bigger mixer, I use these small recorders. So this is a Tascam recorder, pretty good. I also have small mics that I put, for example, on weddings. I put them on the groom, the officiant, and also the bride. And I have a couple of DJI wireless mics, and also the one I'm using here, which is Rode Wireless Go 2. So I have a couple of those. So I always love having a lot of backup. And if I notice the audio is not super clean, I can step it down 20 decibels using this. I also make sure in my bag I have the converters, male to female XLR converters, and also these gadgets to deal with feedback. so that the audio I'm getting is clean. So for lighting, I have bigger light, which are strobes. I use Godox. So this is a Godox 8600. I have a couple of those, and of course Godox wireless triggers. I also have speed light. Is important. Sometimes you need to get in small squeeze spaces, and my go-to speed light is Profoto. So this one is very, very powerful, and a ton of batteries, as well as the modifiers. So this is a Gary Form modifier dome, light dome. It's really good, avoids the shadow. So this is one of the tools I really like, and I have many of these and different modifiers for light, including the snoot to modify the lighting. When it comes to computers, I use both Mac and Windows. I have a couple of laptops, the MacBook Pro, the smaller one, the Asus editing on the go. So I use the laptops while we're on the go. Sometimes we go out of state, out of the country, and we can carry our editing suite or the Mac Mini. So these are the go-to. I have a couple of those. Now for the card readers, I have many smaller ones for SD cards, for CF Express, the Pro Grade, and many others. So this is just part of my camera bag. And Salama Productions, we are big, we do big projects all the time. For the video lighting, we use, depending on the job, it varies, but I do own a lot of lighting here, like Aperture 600D Pros, a couple of them, like the one we're using now, and many other bigger lights. So that's it for my video. And before I finalize, people have to communicate. The crew need to communicate. So we have this wireless ultralight HD. They are pretty good for communication. We also have backups, the radios for communication. So that is a sum up of what I basically use for all our production. So remember to subscribe, like our Facebook page, subscribe on our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram.